Hey guys, and welcome back to Z3 Cubing. Today I'm going to be checking out the new YJ MGC 5x5 and 6x6. So the Cubicle sent me over this package with a couple new puzzles from YJ under their MGC lineup, so let's go ahead and open it up here and see what is inside. So it looks like we have a big package right here, a big box, and this is the MGC 5x5. Also in here we have the MGC 6x6. So we have a couple of new big cubes from MGC. Alright, so just backing up for a minute here, MGC is a sub-brand of YJ that's been around for a while now. I believe they released their first 3x3 a little over a year ago, and since then they've released a number of other puzzles. This is the only MGC puzzle that I own, the MGC Elite, and it's a pretty nice mid-range 2x3 speed cube with some pretty cool features like adjustable elasticity and adjustable magnets. So based on the good value of this puzzle as well as the prices of these two new puzzles, $22 and $25, which is pretty reasonable for a 5x5 and a 6x6, I believe MGC is supposed to be kind of like a mid-range, good value sort of brand for speed cubes, good performance, lots of features, but not too expensive. Anyway, getting into the plastic wrap here, we'll be checking out the 5x5 first. So let's get the 6x6 out of the way. These puzzles both do have magnets, which is pretty nice for the money, in the $20 range for 5x5 and 6x6. That's a very good price to pay for magnets. For comparison, my current main 5x5, the Volk 5M, the magnetic version is $43, so basically twice as expensive. Anyway, getting into the package here, it looks like it opens in kind of this weird way like this. It looks like the rest of the package opens like this. Let's get this open here. And we have the 5x5 as well as an accessories box. Let's open this up real quick and see what's inside. So we have a person's face on the outside, and we have, looks like a little tensioning tool, just a screwdriver, as well as some extra springs and maybe washers in there. Yeah, and there's also a few extra magnets as well as this instruction booklet. Anyway, let's get this out of the way here and open up the 5x5. Get the plastic wrap off. Anyway, first thing I notice here is there is a little bit of lube on the outside. That shouldn't really be a problem though. It looks very normal for a stickerless 5x5. It comes in both stickerless and black plastic. Comparing it to my main 5x5, seems to be the same size. I believe it's 62 millimeters, which I think is standard. The shades are very normal. In fact, they're more normal than the MGC Elite that I recently unboxed. This green looks a little bit darker than normal. This one just looks normal. So let's go ahead and do some first turns and try out the performance. Alright, that seems pretty nice. I'm not really a big cube master, by the way, but I can definitely compare it to my main 5x5, the Volk, which is twice as expensive. And so far, this feels very, very nice. It feels actually very similar to the Volk that I've been using. Alright, the layers feel very smooth, due in part to the lubricant that's in there. The outer layer is rather fast, especially for a 5x5. The inner layer is a little bit slower, but that's what you want in an inner layer. The magnets, I feel like, might be a little bit stronger on the inner layer, which is making it feel slower, but overall the strength on both layers feels very nice. But really, if you took the logo off this thing and handed it to me, by the way, good job for having a removable logo sticker, and told me that it was like Moyu's new $50 top-of-the-line 5x5 speed cube, I think I would totally believe you. This thing just feels high quality. It feels like it's definitely up to par with any other top-of-the-line 5x5 speed cube on the market. Now, the one little problem that I am having right out of the box is when you try and do some extreme corner cutting on these inner layers here, like this, you do get these crazy 5x5 lockups that you get on a lot of 5x5 speed cubes actually. Normally you wouldn't turn a 5x5 like this during a solve, but when you do, it can be very frustrating to get it back into alignment. I feel like that might have to do just with the looseness of this cube. It does come actually fairly loose, like I can get this piece out pretty easily, so I might want to tighten it down. Anyway, now that this puzzle is partially disassembled, let's go ahead and take a look at what a few of these pieces look like on the inside. It definitely is very easy to get these pieces out compared to my normal main 5x5, so I'll definitely be tightening this cube up a little bit. Anyway, it looks very similar to most 5x5 speed cubes nowadays. You do have these friction ridges along the edge pieces, which definitely add to that really nice and fast feel. Again, like I said earlier, I'm definitely not an expert on big cube hardware. Also, these pieces are really disgusting with that kind of oily, smooth lubricant. So let's get this puzzle back together. But yeah, overall, I'd say this is a really good 5x5, especially for having magnets at just $22. It's very, very fast, very, very smooth, and overall, it's just a very solid cube. Feels like it's going to stay together. And once I tighten it a little bit, I think it'll be very nice for speed cubing. Anyway, if you do want a really good 5x5 speed cube, but you don't want to spend $40, if $20 is more in your price range, I would definitely recommend the MGC magnetic 5x5. It's a really awesome puzzle, especially for that price. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out the 6x6 and see if it compares in that value kind of range. So let's get this plastic off here and then get this black sleeve off. It looks like it actually has a different pattern than on the 5x5. This one kind of has squares. This one kind of has math symbols on it. And let's open it up here. There we go. Here's the 6x6, and here's the little box of accessories. So let's see what's in here. Probably all the same things again. We have this little screwdriver, same thing. We have an extra set of magnets. We also have this instruction booklet, as well as, I think, an extra set of springs, a little bit different springs this time. Anyway, getting onto the 6x6 here. This also has the same normal looking shades. It also comes in both black and stickerless. This is actually my first ever stickerless 6x6, so it looks kind of weird to me. Anyway, it looks like it also has the same size as a normal standard 65 millimeter 6x6. So let's do some first turns. And this one feels pretty similar to the 5x5 actually. Once again, the layers do all feel pretty smooth, and they definitely are pretty fast, definitely very reasonable for a 6x6. Inner layer is a tiny bit slower, the very inner layer is quite a bit slower, which is exactly what you want. The one major difference is that everything just kind of feels heavier. Even just turning aside, you can just kind of feel that extra weight to it, which of course is a consequence of this being a bigger cube and having more pieces, and also having a lot more magnets in a 6x6. Of course, this is totally unavoidable in a 6x6. In fact, I think my current main is even a little bit heavier. Anyway, again, the performance is great, especially on these outer layers here, and it definitely does seem to stand up to my current expand main, which again is a cube twice as expensive as this one here. The one problem again that I'm having is on these kind of inner layers here, I do get these wacky lockups, which I think is because the cube is so loose. I'm actually going to tighten this cube down a little and see if I can get those lockups to go away. Alright, so I tightened each screw by 1/2 turn, and that definitely is a huge improvement. I'm definitely going to be doing the same thing on the 5x5. I just feel a lot more confident turning the cube and doing corner cutting like this. The performance isn't quite as great. You see it's kind of trying to lock up, but it doesn't quite get there as much as it did when it was looser. I'm not sure if I'm just really bad at turning loose cubes, or if the cube really does come too loose, but either way, I definitely do prefer it like this. For reference, I do the same thing on my $50 X-Men Shadow. Anyway, I'll say one more time that I'm not a big cube expert, but this is definitely the best value 6x6 speed cube that I have ever seen, especially for a cube that has magnets in it. I could definitely speed solve in this cube and be just fine even compared to my main. But yeah, I'll definitely go ahead and recommend this to pretty much the same group of people as the 5x5. If you want to get into 6x6 speed solving, but you don't want to spend $50 for a decent 6x6 speed cube, this is definitely the value option for you. Even if you just want to buy your first magnetic 5x5 and 6x6 for speed solving or whatever else, I could definitely recommend these two cubes. Get them, tighten them down a little bit, and they will be amazing speed cubes. I'll put the link to where you can buy both of them down in the description at thecubicle.com. And that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed or learned something about these new cubes, and I'll see you guys next time.